Hi, let's make a simple avatar using Sculptris and Blender. We'll be creating the simple model in Sculptris and bring it into Blender for the animation portion. So in Sculptris, we're looking at the front of our model. Before we go any further, I want to highlight that I've brought down the detail up on the detail slider up towards the top. I am on the draw tool and I will keep the draw tool size about half way across the slider. And what I'll do is I will just drag to reveal the right side of the model. And again, with the detail down, I will go ahead and I will proceed to pull. I'm going to actually hold it down. I will hold down the draw brush and it will pull out in a very low poly fashion because we have the detail way down, these kind of projections, which we can just use as, some type of appendage. We don't have to name what kind of thing our model is at this point. But if we wanted to alter this shape a little bit further, we could go over here and take the draw tool and pull out this way as well. We could also attempt to flatten it out a little bit if we wanted to. Notice when we flatten it out, not doing much right there. If I pull up the size, there we can actually maintain with it flattened out. We can maintain our low poly, or lower, I should say, not really low poly, but our fairly low poly mesh. So there we have these little appendages, and let's go ahead now and just proceed to reduce the overall complexity by going reduce selected. And by doing so, we're down to 740 triangles. This will be very performant. And a matter of fact, I might go also again to the flatten tool and flatten down just a little bit more what I have here. Now you could do a completely different model. I'm just going to do a workflow here for you, and you of course can make your model a lot more elaborate than I'm making it. I would typically save it at this point. I'm going to skip these saves just for the purpose of saving some time. But once you go into paint mode, it's important to know that going into paint mode is a one-way street. You can't go back into modeling. Of course, if you had saved it as a mesh, if you saved it before painting, in other words, you're welcome to paint it many different ways after that. Just keep on opening that unpainted model. But right now I'm going to click OK. And it really builds that texture map very quickly, especially with the low number of triangles. I only have 740 triangles, which is awesome. I will zoom out a little bit with 2 fingers up on my trackpad using the MacBook Air. Not using any type of mouse or anything, any 3-button mouse, just the trackpad. I'm going to bring up the size of my brush so it pretty much covers the whole creature. I'll just take this default color here, but you can of course change it to whatever color you would like. And I'm just going to paint everything with like a base paint pretty much. All right. So right there we pretty much have like this base paint to it. There we go. Alrighty. All right. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and maybe use full tint. Make it get like a white color. Bring down the size. Kind of make some, well, not that big. Maybe something like that. And make some eye. And I think that might be decent. Again, I have the strength the whole way up, so it's painting fairly quickly and in such a saturated fashion. So I'm going to go over here and just click right in the middle use kind of like a full-on black color, maybe bring down ever so slightly the size, not much, just go like right in here perhaps, just click the, hold that, and then I'll go back actually to the white color, click out towards the edge, and I will go ahead and pull the tint the whole way down, bring down the brush size considerably, and just do a little highlight, little pure on both sides, like that. And that will suffice for right now. I'm going to do a little expression, if you will. I'll go back, select the black again, go to full saturation, or so, and I will try to hit this fairly well here, and I just throw a little something like that on there. And I think I could go into providing maybe some shading on the bottom. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe just add a little bit. Of course, this isn't obviously focusing on the art aspect of it, but I will throw a little different tint in there. Maybe I'll take, let's see, something like that. Maybe paint under here, and I'll turn down the strength so it's not going to just blast it as well. So notice I turn down the strength, pull down the size of my brush. Maybe I'll pull it down even further, the strength, and just kind of like just pop in some slightly different color underneath here, just to add. You can see it's it's in symmetry mode, so you can see what that did. Just added a little bit of something to that. I can throw a little bit around the top edge too, maybe. Maybe I'll do that a little bit, just around the top edge, just to add a little bit of a little different color to it. Not much at all. Just a little something that's over there. Okay, with this being kind of finished for my little example, I'm not going to go into anything else. We're going to go over here and go export the OBJ file. I'm going to go export this. And I have already a character there called Greenie. If I click on this, I can go to my documents, and then I have these folders already. I have game models, and I suggest you get organized right off the bat. I'll create a new folder, and I'll call this red thing, maybe just red underscore thing, and just create that folder. And then in this folder, red thing, that's where we'll save the actual OBJ, and we'll call it red underscore thing, and then I'll save it. And next thing we'll do, you need to show advanced tools, so that might not be showing on yours yet. So you want to click this little button, show advanced tools, and save texture map. We're just going to do simple texture. We're not going to do normals or bump map or anything. And then I'm just going to go red underscore thing, and it'll save it as a PNG in that same folder. All right, and then I'll just see you in a moment once we get into the into Blender. Okay.